Hello, race fans, and welcome to NAGRCA TV. I'm your host, Putz, and today's broadcast is of Barbagallo and Winton Raceways, rounds 6 and 7 in the NAGRCA V8 Supercar Series, Season 3. First up was the time trial round at Barbagallo, with some rather interesting action, a very close finish between two of the series contenders. We'll take you down to the track now, and we'll take a look at the action highlights, or rather the whole race, from Barbagallo. Here we are at Barbagallo Raceway, ready for round 6 of the NAGRCA V8 Supercar Series. This is the top 6 race with drivers JHVP, Lee, Bob Lopet, Alonso, Cuba, and Rafael. We are about to get underway. Get ready. And they're off. And into turn 1. It's very close. Everybody's still together. Just everybody in a tight bunch. Looks like Alonso is coming out in front. Cuba into second. There's Alonso, Cuba, Lee, Rafael, Trigger Happy, and JHVP. And Cuba challenging for the lead. He's dead even with Alonso. Into the final turn. Cuba leads the lap. He is ahead of Alonso. Rafael in third. JHVP dropping back a little bit. Alonso goes to the inside of Cuba. Cuba fights back. He gets the advantage down the stretch. Oh, a mistake by Alonso. He brushes the wall along the front straightaway, allowing Cuba to pull away. He falls back into the clutches of Lee. Lee is battling. Now they're all three together. Alonso slips up again. Cuba stretches the lead. And Alonso barely misses the wall that time, but he gains on Cuba. Cuba continues to hold the lead. Lee is charging hard behind Alonso. And then it's Trigger Happy, Rafael, and JHVP way in the back. It's a real tight battle in the top three there. Alonso keeps swinging way wide off of that last turn. Looks like Lee is going to take over the second spot momentarily at least. Cuba seems to be increasing his lead. Trigger Happy is also catching up to Alonso and Lee. Trigger Happy's into the wall. Lee brushed the wall a little bit. Alonso managed to stay off, but he's still getting awful wide off of that turn. Cuba continues to increase his lead. Lee in second. Alonso third. Trigger Happy fourth. And we have drivers heading into the pits. Cuba pits. Alonso pits and Lee pits. Those three are in. The other three stay out for one more lap. Trigger Happy takes the lead. Rafael and JHVP battling for the second spot at the moment, but that won't last long because they're going to have to hit the pits here. Trigger Happy is in. JHVP will assume the lead after taking Rafael. Alonso is in the lead now in front of Cuba. Lee in third. Trigger Happy back out on track. JHVP takes the lead, swings a little bit wide into the dirt, and they're both into the pits, into the wall. Both cars having issues on pit in. Alonso takes the lead. Cuba close second. Lee third. Trigger Happy distant fourth. Fifth, Rafael. Sixth, JHVP. And they continue to race. Everybody's pretty spread out here as we're heading into the closing laps. This is a stink pack of two drivers. Alonso, Cuba, Lee is the first pack. Trigger Happy, Rafael, JHVP the second group. And they're pretty steady now. A couple of cars brushing that wall there. That wall seems to be pretty dangerous. The last turn of this track is very tricky for the drivers. Alonso continues to hold the lead over Cuba. Cuba is gaining just a little bit. Gained a little bit through that first turn. It's closing. And Alonso continues to hold the lead. Lee drops back a little bit. Then Trigger Happy has a bit of a gap. JHVP taking over for the fifth spot. Oh, he goes wide, or rather too narrow, and hits the wall, giving up the fifth position to Rafael. Alonso continuing to hold the lead here. And he hits the wall, and he's barely going to beat Cuba to the line at the finish. Wow, a little mistake there almost cost Alonso the race. Quite a finish we had there. between those drivers. It's Alonso first, Kuba second, Lee third, Bob Lopet fourth, Raphael fifth, and JHVP sixth. Now here's the total finishing order for the Barbagallo round. Alonso in first with the best lap once again. Kuba second, Lee third, Bob Lopet fourth, Raphael fifth, JHVP sixth, Feofan seventh, XYY eighth, and Trigger Happy finishing in ninth. Alonso taking his sixth win of the season, continuing a dominating performance, but this time he nearly lost it to Kuba, but 11/10 of a second was the difference. Made a little mistake, but he had enough of a lead to prevent him from losing his first race of the season. Now we head to Winton Motor Raceway for the 7th round of the V8 Supercar Series. The top 6 race between XYY, Raphael, Alonso, Lee, Kuba, and JHVP. We're about ready to start the race. Let's get underway here, and there they go. They are off into the first turn, and a bit of trouble there for several drivers. Kuba comes out first, Lee second, Alonso third, XYY, Raphael, and JHVP goes over the sunk tires and spins off the course, having a lot of difficulty with this track early on. Lee goes to the outside of Kuba. He's going to take the lead. No, he's not. Kuba gains back, and he has trouble off of that first turn. Alonso challenging for the lead. Lee continues to hold it, but Alonso is there. Kuba closes back up as well. It's a 3-man battle for the first spot. Very close. Alonso coming out the clear victor there. Lee maintains second. Kuba is right there behind him in third. Oh, Lee, big mistake through that first chicane there into the wall, giving Kuba second, leaving a big gap. XYY is continuing in third. JHVP holds fourth, and XYY is fourth, JHVP fifth, and Raphael sixth. Bit of difficulty for Raphael there. He appears to be having some car troubles, perhaps some damage to that machine. And JHVP also sliding around a lot. Alonso continues to hold the lead. Kuba second, Lee third, XYY fourth, and JHVP, more troubles for him as he goes wide a little ways back there. And Alonso slides out in the grass a little bit, and this track appears to be very difficult for these drivers. XYY challenges Lee for the third position. Lee cannot hold him off. XYY will move into third. And Alonso continues to open up his lead. He's really got this track down, and now Lee is going to take over the third spot once again from XYY. Gets by him in the chicane. XYY going way to the inside, but it doesn't appear to be working. Kuba holding a steady second. The only real battle here is for the final podium spot, and Alonso hits the pits. Kuba is in, Lee is in, XYY is in. All four of the lead drivers pit. JHVP elects to stay out this lap. Alonso back on track. Kuba, and then JHVP third. Lee and XYY are back on track. Raphael coming into the pits now. JHVP probably not going to be able to hold off long. He's dropping back into fifth again, and he's still yet to pit. Has some trouble there. Alonso opening up a huge gap on the other drivers. XYY, big mistake through the chicane over the sunk tire and into the wall. Allows Lee to close back in. JHVP is in the pits now, and he's now back on track. Alonso opening up a big lead. He may be able to lap Raphael by the end of this, depending on if he keeps this pace or not. Kuba is second. XYY third. JHVP fourth. And that's the battle we're going to focus on because those are the only two cars that are in close proximity. Lee takes the advantage as XYY makes a little mistake there. Kuba is holding the gap in front of those two, but XYY battles back on the inside. That Lee, no, now XYY is going again, but he jumps over the sunk tire, loses a lot of ground to Lee, and he again through the chicane off the sunk tire and into the wall. leaving a huge gap between himself and Lee. Huge, costly mistake for XYY there. He's got a lot of work to do to get back up there to Lee. Meanwhile, Alonso continues to dominate, opening up his lead even farther. Kuba holds second, Lee third, XYY fourth, JHVP fifth, and Raphael sixth. Alonso continues to close on Raphael, may be able to lap him by the end of this event. Kuba second, looks like Lee's gaining a little bit, and XYY in fourth is still a little ways behind. And he glances off the wall again off of the final turn, manages to keep it together through the S's though, and gains a little ground on Lee, who doesn't seem to have gone so well through that time. Alonso is still way up in front. And this should be the final lap coming up here. Alonso, a dominating performance. No, it's the final lap, and he wins. Kuba second, Lee third, XYY fourth. And here comes JHVP off the sunk tire. He'll be moving in to fifth position, and Raphael makes his way around to claim the sixth spot here in Winton. Not the most dramatic finish, but certainly some exciting moments during the race there. Certainly a very interesting round that leaves 2 more rounds to go, and Alonso has yet to be beaten in a race this season. He's won all 7 rounds. Dominating performance this season. Probably not going to be beaten for the points unless he doesn't even show up in the last rounds. And here's the overall finishing order again. The fastest lap going to Alonso again. And this is the Winton results. Now we'll take a look at the full results screen. Now, unfortunately, the finish of that one was a little bit of a letdown after some of the excitement in the middle. Here's the final rundown. Alonso once again taking the win and the best lap. Kuba in second, Lee third, XYY fourth, JHVP fifth, Raphael sixth, Feofan 7th, and Trigger Happy and Bob Lopet both taking DNFs. Now we'll take away the way the points stand as of round 7. Alonso continues to lead by a huge margin. He's basically got it won at this point. There's really no denying that fact, that he just has to show up to these next 2 races and he'll automatically win the championship. One slight change is Lee takes the 3rd spot from XYY after XYY had a disastrous round at Barbagallo. Now we'll take a look at team points. Croatia Racing Team on top, Destiny Racing in second, and Planet Gene Rally in third. No real surprises there, as the top 3 are probably set, and it may just be a battle between Planet Gene Rally and Destiny Racing. The manufacturer points look very similar as well. It's not likely to change except perhaps between Holden and Volvo. Now this has been the 6th and 7th rounds of the NAGRCA V8 Supercar Series Season 3. Hope you enjoyed watching the exciting races. Come back next week to see the concluding rounds of the series and to find out who will become champion. This is Putz for NAGRCA, signing off. See you next week.